Hey guys, Doubt here and welcome to War Thunder. In this video, we're going to be doing the Me-410 B6, as you can see right here. Now this plane, as most of you might know, is one of the best ground attackers with armored target rounds, 95mm penetration, even though you don't really need that. Let me rephrase that. That's at 10 meters, 90 degrees, perfect conditions, and even when it's not at perfect conditions, it can cut through. And then we have air target rounds for the 20mm because that's not going to be able to penetrate the tanks, so when we go heads on with aircraft, having that fragmentation is nice. Then armored target for our 13mm to allow us to get some damage on enemy fighters trailing us. But we get on to the replays. Alright, so here's the first gameplay First gameplay replay, rather. And this is on Ruhr, one of the best maps for the ground pounding aircraft. At least for the Germans, it's more of that because you have the medium tanks, and those are really easy because they always travel the same path. They're in larger groups, whereas the Americans have all of the pillboxes scattered around that they have to try and take out. So what also makes it good for this plane is that you can get over to the tanks really fast. You know, you have your big cannons that you can go down the back line, go bap 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 bap, kill all of these. And see, can you see over there? Yeah, at the beginning, I joined this match in around mid to early, which means that there was another Me-410 B6 that reached it. Like, it's a little overkill to have two go for one column, and especially when, like, if you get there, he was 8 kilometers in front of me, so by the time I got there, like, even a few kilometers off of the runway, he already had killed all of the tanks. Yeah, so if you're an attacker, no, don't do what I'm doing right now, because it is very risky and you stand a high probability of getting yourself crashed into the ground with that 2 or 5 minute wait time to get back into battle. Anyway, what I do on these next few approaches is much more reasonable. Head out at least 1 kilometer. The more distance, the better prepared. So turn in. Got that one. Again, I'm going through the tree line rather than in between, so not as smart, but got the job done nonetheless. 2 tanks destroyed in that run. And like I said in the other video, don't rush it, especially in this position I'm in. You know, I'm free to attack as many as I want without fear of getting attacked by fighters because there really isn't any around me. And let me just check the teams. Yeah, at this point it was just 2 enemies left, and they were up at like 25,000 meters. So we weren't going to be able to, they weren't going to dive down on us. At least not soon. And then you see right there also, because this plane has 20 and 30mm, unlike the HS-129, you can fire the 30mm separate. So every time you squeeze a trigger, it's going to be HVAP rounds. instead of like 20mm mixed in, and sometimes HVAP doesn't fire. Anyway, because the 20mm are also different, that you can use the 30s just for tanks and 20mm just for the soft ground targets. That was a bit of spray and pray there, so wasn't the best right there at dealing with tanks. Usually want to do squirting the target so that you're not using up too much ammo. But perhaps one of the most ridiculous things about this plane is that when you can get behind the tank formations and just keep shooting the 30mm down the line. Like, there's been times where I've got 6 kill streak on medium tanks in one go, and that helps clean up, even though it might take more ammunition. And was not as much as a problem though as much as with the HS-129, because you had one cannon, and that one cannon only had 100 rounds, I think it was. Whereas this one has more ammo capacity for more guns, which is always good. Might as well mention one of the cool parts about this plane I found is that rather than having separate gunners, see, is it going to show? Well, you can see right there, that guy right in the cockpit. He has a mechanism that lets him control both of these, so that you don't have to have two guys. Here we go on these tanks. Pretty easy. Got some side shots on them, so just one after the other. And then it's just these tanks that need to be taken out, and then the game ended. I watch this. Just beautiful. Missed that one though, the last one there. And it's one of the frustrating parts about Germans, is sometimes the large caliber guns will bounce off of planes. That seems to be more of a problem with the 163 pilots. And I think even the Horton 229, I think I heard some of them complain, but just a little bit annoying. And right, you see on the tail there, that little icon. One of my favorite ones to put on planes. Just a red circle with I think that's a Jaguar or something. A Jaeger. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a Jaeger from Pacific Rim. Oh god. Someone's gonna kill me for that. Yeah, Shining Needle helping out a little bit by taking out the soft targets. Anti-aircraft, at least the vehicles, really aren't as good as like player controlled. Like, from what it seems to be, it's just 7.7s, and at earlier tiers maybe that's more effective, but at like the rank 4, it's not going to do damage. Just more of an annoyance. But there's been times where I've had the anti-aircraft emplacements that would just shoot directly at you when you're coming in, and that can ruin your day. But yeah, that's the end of this gameplay. On to the next. Okay, so here's the second gameplay, and this one is more of showing its capabilities fighter-wise. Now, as the case with most twin-engine aircraft, it's always better to face them head-on or tailing behind them, because once they start turning, you really can't do anything against them. And plus, you have lots of big guns in front, so you're going to be able to kill them faster than they can kill you in a head-on. As you see right here, there's a F-8F closing in, and my squad mate's right there, Rodrigo. And watch how we do this. This guy's jet-powered Taito, so you know that he's at least experienced in the game. So turn around, face the way he's going away from. Then I turn. Now Rodriguez is baiting him into a turn towards me. So I turn my aircraft, aim, and I get him. Shoot out his wing, I think it was, or his tail. Another F-8F coming in. I'm lucky that was the 50 caliber version. Otherwise, they would probably have killed me. I spray a little, get a hit, but he's going off. And there's Rodriguez. He gets him while he's trying to get away from me. So it's just a good thing to do when you don't have fighter support, is you each draw the fighter away and into a line where the other one can shoot him. So about to go heads up with F-7F. I shoot above him to compensate for the distance he was and the shell drop of my guns. And because he was coming down on me, and so sometimes that can be tricky to determine if they're gonna go above or below you when they crash down, so as not to ram their corpse. And so your safest bet is to turn off to the left or right like I did. But yeah, so if you don't have another fighter support, another fighter like watching your back, then the best way is to have, as you saw, two heavy fighters watching each other can do just as much as any fighter could. But yeah, that was as far as I went for gameplay in this match. The rest was just cleanup. So hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Be sure to subscribe.